In late January, Doncaster found themselves on the verge of English Football League oblivion. Now the Rovers find themselves in control of their own playoff destiny. This is the story of the Doncaster Rovers in 2024. Hello and welcome. This is your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin. You might be wondering how I got here. We'll explain this gnome in a little bit. If you're new to this channel or have been following my exploits so far, hit that subscribe button. We are almost there. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I really do appreciate your support, whether you're a Rovers fan or a fan of another club that I've covered. When talking about the Doncaster Rovers 2023-24 season, you have to walk into the deep, dark valley before you can climb up to the lofty heights they sit at now. And the bottom of that dark valley was on January 31st.
You know, don't anyone think that we're not going down this year. There's a genuine fear that we are. These next 12 games will decide what happens with our season. And I'm not trying to be negative or anything like that. I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm trying to be firm but fair. There is a chance we could go down this year. 100 million% there's a chance we could go down this year. Do I want that to happen? No. Do I wish that to happen? No. But there's a chance we go down this year.
The Doncaster Rovers were rapidly approaching a crisis point at the end of the January transfer window. Since the start of December, the Rovers had only won one game and drawn twice in League Two play over the course of 2 months. They also had 6 losses during that period. At this point of the season, the Donnies, as they're affectionately known in South Yorkshire, sat in 22nd place in League Two. Forest Green and Sutton United were beneath them in the table in the 2 relegation slots. It was so dark for the Rovers that even this Middle American took notice. Enough of a gap between them and the dregs of the league to probably be safe. No! And the transfer window at first glance didn't appear to give Rovers fans much to hope for. Not that there was much hope to begin with after the EFL hit Doncaster with a 3 transfer window fee restriction that went into effect in the July transfer window last year. That's because of late payments to the EFL. Now, the club claims the restrictions had no effect in the January window, but that didn't stop fans from taking note that only 5 of the 6 incoming players were loans. Only defender Jay McGrath was a permanent signing. His dad actually played for the Rovers back in the day. He was a free transfer after the Doncaster native's contract with Irish side St. Patrick's Athletic expired. We'll talk about the January window here in a bit. Also during January, their striker Mo Faal ended his loan with the Doncaster Rovers a bit controversially, going back to his parent club West Brom before going back to League Two just days later, this time with Walsall. Rovers manager Grant McCann was less than pleased with the ordeal, claiming Faal was enjoying his time in Doncaster just weeks before he ended his loan. He had scored 9 goals in 33 appearances for the Rovers. But you've heard the phrase, the night is darkest before the dawn, right? In fact, it might just be a cliche at this point, but it does apply to Doncaster.
Who would have thought we'll be 1 point off the playoffs at this moment in time, when we was on the 3rd of February, was like a couple of points off relegation. It's just absolutely amazing how we've been playing and how everything's just clicked.
On February 3rd, the Rovers played bottom of the table Sutton United, and you wouldn't know it from the score, but a possible turning point for the club happened late in this 1-1 draw.
When Dean Bazanis of Sutton United's keeper took out Joe Ironside in injury time to gain us, well, that vital penalty injury time equaliser, where we salvaged a 1-1 draw. And since then, we've not looked back.
After that draw with Sutton United, you'd be laughed at hysterically by most Doncaster fans for suggesting that after that match, the Rovers would lose just one more match between then and now. But that's what happened. The Rovers won 3 of their next 4 matches, including a triumphant 5-1 romp at Grimsby. Mo Faal would exact a bit of revenge on the Rovers on March 2nd, scoring the third goal in a 3-1 win by Walsall. But again, that would be the last loss for the Rovers up until the point of this recording. And a 1-1 draw against Bradford the following Tuesday would be the last time the Rovers would concede points until mid-April. And these weren't just bottom feeders that they were beating. Crewe and Crawley are presently in the promotion playoffs. Walsall is just outside, Morecambe is a decent mid-table team, and Wrexham just won back-to-back promotions. But even Wrexham couldn't win at EcoPower Stadium in Doncaster on April 2nd. The match that yours truly was present for. And that's where I met Gnomey.
So this right here is the Donny Gnome, the Gnome on tour. This is very much a tradition for Doncaster Rovers supporters. We bring it to home and away games. Well, Paul Mayfield, the lovely Paul Mayfield, as you see on screen, brings it to home and away games. People get a picture with it, they get the police to take a picture with it, rival fans, players, managers. Everyone can take a picture with the Gnome. I know a couple of grounds can be a bit tetchy with it, but majority of grounds, if not all of them, allow the Gnome into the ground, and it's amazing. It's like a breakthrough tradition. It's like part of the Doncaster Rovers supporters' culture.
Now, how? How did Doncaster pull themselves out of purgatory and closer to promotion? Well, we do have to go back to that January transfer window for that, and 3 of those loan signings turned out to be critical. And any discussion about the January window for Doncaster has to start with Hakeem Adelican and his loan from Lincoln City in League One.
Can't say enough about Hakeem. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely. It's just in his own bubble, as he says. It's just good. It's just amazing. Just scores goals, assists, quality, all over.
And that quality is reflected on the stat sheet with 8 goals and 6 assists in 16 games for the Rovers since debuting for Doncaster on January 27th. Just look at this goal against Crawley. But Adelican has hardly been the only key piece for Doncaster, with starting goalkeeper Ian Lawler injured and Lewis Jones not being particularly impressive. The Rovers needed stability in net. And they got it from Hull City, loaning in Timothy Lotatala, and he's only been one of the best goalkeepers in League Two since arriving.
Amazing. Done absolutely a brilliant job in middle at sticks. I think he's kept 8 clean sheets in this run. So it's the most we've had clean sheets since Grant McCann was last year in 2018-2019 season. Again, just a commanding keeper, organised as well up for it, up for every game, interacts with the fans. It's just amazing to have him around.
And the Rovers also dipped into the Premier League to add a little bite to their midfield, loaning in Matthew Craig from Tottenham Hotspur's under-21s.
And he has been absolutely sensational. You could tell he deserves to be playing at a higher level than League Two. He's just been amazing since the Newport game. He likes to put a tackle in, his passing of the ball is just amazing.
But it's not just the new faces in town that have led the resurgence for the Rovers. Some key players getting healthy and chipping in have also come up big.
Such as Richard Wood and Jamie Sterry finding full fitness. James Maxwell also finding full fitness. Richard Wood, who commands everything in that defence. Talks, true captain, just organises everybody. Heads on everything. Kicks everything.
As I noted earlier, Doncaster have beaten some formidable competition to get to this point, including a Wrexham side that just crushed Forest Green 6-0 to clinch promotion into League One. But again, before they clinched promotion, they had to pay a visit to Doncaster on April 2nd.
But again, it was just one of those where we had us back to war for the last 15 minutes of a game, and we showed true grit and true determination to win, and we did the job.
And then a week later, Faal and Walsall visited Doncaster on April 9th, and this time it'd be the Rovers getting revenge on Faal and his new club, winning 2-1. But Walsall didn't make it easy.
Again, a side who knocking on the door of the playoffs as well as ourselves. And again, Walsall gave us a good game. I feel as though we weren't at its best in the first half. Second half, though, we came out and we played a bit better.
All this has led to this week, where the Rovers find themselves just 1 point outside of the promotion playoffs and in control of their own destiny because they have a game in hand on teams above them. This is an unfathomable 8-game winning streak the Rovers are in right now, turning around what appeared to be a hopeless season at the end of January into a magical season full of hope at the end of April.
If we do it, if we make it and gate crash the playoffs, it'll be just amazing. I wouldn't have thought that. 12 games ago or so, it was. I was saying that there's too much traffic ahead of us, but every week when we've been winning, every week it's been more probable to possible to. It's just Now I think we're in the prime position now. Absolutely.
But even still, as audacious as this late season turnaround has been for the Rovers, fans like Danny are remaining optimistic.
Well, it's a long way to go yet. I'm not counting my chickens just yet, but if we do manage it, then I feel as though we've got a bit of a job on to improve the squad for League One, personally. But I trust me can, absolutely.
At the time of this video, the Donny Rovers have 3 games remaining on the schedule. This Saturday, they play their last home match of the season and also the toughest test on paper of the 3 remaining games. 6th place, Barrow. Now, Barrow are sputtering a bit at the moment. Prior to a 1-1 draw this week with promotion contender Crawley, they had lost their last 3 prior to that match. The Rovers did, however, lose to Barrow 3-2 in September, albeit on the road. Then, the Rovers traveled to Colchester on Tuesday, a team who is now in the position Doncaster was in late January, surviving by the skin of its teeth. Colchester have 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw in their last 5 to stay in League 2 so far, but have won their last 2 matches. Doncaster did beat Colchester 3-1 at home on November 28th. And in the season finale, the Rovers traveled to Gillingham, who are also competing for a promotion playoff spot in 9th place. Like Colchester, Gillingham has been up and down of late as well, with 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw in their last 5. However, Doncaster did get the win at home over Gillingham 2-1 on September 23rd. But what do you think of Doncaster's promotion hopes? Do you think they can actually pull it off? I mean, after all, they do control their destiny in these last 3 games. Or do you think maybe that another season in League 2 with some reinforcements in the offseason might be better for Doncaster so that they can make a proper push in League 1 the following year? Leave a comment below and be sure to subscribe for more content like this. We are approaching 1,000 subscribers on this channel. We're about 50 away, so let's make a final playoff push here on YouTube like the ones the Rovers are making in real life. This has been your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin. And how about that Wrexham win at EcoPower Stadium? I enjoyed it. I was there. If you want to relive it, go ahead and hover your mouse over my finger to that image there and just give it a good old left click. After all, that's a better fairy tale than any one that you'll find on Disney Plus.